started 4-0 in league play. They're tough, they're physical, they're number 2 in the country in steal percentage on defense. They turn you over. So we're gonna have to be sharp on offense. Or guards are gonna have to be tough with the ball. If we take care of the ball, I think we can get good shots. And then defensive end, our offense is either gonna hurt or help our defense. If our offense can take care of the ball and our defense is set, I think we'll be all right. If we're giving them live ball turnovers and feeding their transition game, it's going to really hurt our defense. So, it's going to all start with taking care of the ball on offense, and then we're going to have to be tough and physical. They're a tough physical team that plays really hard.
Thanks, Coach. Let's go ahead and get started with questions. First up, we'll go ahead and go to Charlie Potter.
Hey, Coach, you always talk about wanting to play your best basketball in March. Do you feel like you guys are starting to do that, or at the very least on the cusp of that?
You know what? I liked where we were at against South Carolina for 32 out of the 40 minutes. The first 8 minutes of the second half was not good. So but both sides of the ball, we were pretty good. Our offense is starting to flow again. I think it's really clicking when we're taking care of the ball. I think J.D. Davidson's playing as good as he's played all year. Quinterly's playing much better, particularly on the offensive end. We still trying to get him really. I think he can. If you look at what he did against Kenjo, against Baylor, we're trying to get him to do that, on a night-to-night basis. But I think our point guard play is getting better. All 4 guards really played well. Charles is playing as good a basketball as he's played. So, we've got a lot of guys on the team playing their best basketball. I think that bodes well for winning in March. We just have to get the team bought into keeping our defense at a high level for the full 40 minutes. So this will be the first game in March, tomorrow. Hopefully we can put 40 minutes of defense together against A&M.
Nick Kelly.
Yeah, what does this team need from Noah Gurley down the stretch? Or what role does he need to fill for you guys to be successful?
Well, he's got to be that guy that can play the 4 and 5 both. We need him to take care of the ball on offense. Can't have the turnovers. He's been a little turnover prone on some. We think about the Vanderbilt games. We need to take care of the ball, make some open shots to stretch the defense when we want to play him at the stretch 5. He's got to rebound the ball for us at a high level, and then just, he's got a high IQ. He's got to use it. He's got to open his mouth. He's got to talk to guys. He's got to be a leader out there for us. But he's going to be big because you're going to play games where the other team's rolls out a small lineup and Charles can't really match up with him. We need Noah to play the 5. We need him to, if the other team does have a 5 that can't guard a stretch 5, to be able to guard the other team's traditional 5 and make it impossible for them to guard us on the one end with him being able to stretch the floor. So he's going to be big for us down the stretch. We need him to start playing his best basketball. And I think he's been there. He's close. He's been a little up and down here lately, but we need him to play really well for us here in March.
Michael Casagrande.
You mentioned Quinterly playing better on the offensive side. His shooting, I know that had been an issue earlier in the year. His percentage was way below what he had been. It kind of came back towards what it had been in the past. What have you seen from him shooting-wise that's improved so much in the last few games?
You know what? I think his confidence in game has gotten a lot better. I mean, he's been making shots all year in practice. He's making shots and shooting workouts. I think he needed to relax, quit putting a ton of pressure on himself in the games, and he's done that. I mean, he's been shooting the ball really, really well in the games. He played well last March, if you remember. I mean, he wasn't great throughout the course of the entire year last year, but he really got it going at the end of the year. So I'm hoping that's what we're seeing, moving into March here from him.
Let's go next to Joey Blackwell.
Hey, Coach. Just a few minutes ago, when asked what you need to improve on, Gurley said everything. I'm just curious, coming back for a 6th season, what do you think he stands to benefit from returning, and what do you think the team benefits from gaining him for another year?
Well, I mean, he benefits from getting to play a second full season at a high major level in a system that he's now comfortable with. I don't think he got comfortable in our system till midway through the year, and I think as his comfort level grew, he got more comfortable making shots as he knew where they were going to come from. So he's a shooter that I think with the work that he puts in and will put in this offseason, he could be a 40% shooter from 3 as a big. If you're able to step out and make threes like he can, and I think he will next year, I think he can prove he can play professionally for a lot of money for a long time with his skill set. He's got to get to where he's better on the glass. He's got to rebound the ball a lot better for us as a big. He can't just show kind of his guard skills, if you will, off as a big. He's got to do the stuff a big does as well, which is rebound the ball and, interior defense. The other thing, he can really score in the post. So he's one of those guys that can go inside and outside, where like if you play him at the 4 and the other team's playing a little smaller lineup, I think we can post 4s. If you play him at the 5 and they got traditional 5, he can stretch 5s, but I think we can use him as a mismatch guy quite a bit next year, kind of playing both those spots for us.
All right. It looks like all the questions we have. Thanks, Coach.
Talking a little trash on the field? Yeah, we get it. Trashing the state with litter? That's terrible. Keep it clean. Keep